From the bottomless pit. Of the bottomless pit. His name is Abaddon.
And on every hand I saw a great plain of woe and cruel torment. Bitter tombs were scattered with flame, made to glow all over, hotter than iron need be for any craft. And such dire laments issued forth, as come only from those who are truly wretched, suffering, and forever lost.
It is appointed, it is then certain that we are all condemned to death. We shall then all be in eternity, which will be for us an eternal day of delights or an eternal night of torments. There is no middle way. It is certain and of faith that one or the other lot will be ours. And in truth, with death present to them, the saints have despised all the pleasures of this world. St. Charles Borromeo kept always on his table a skull, that he might continually contemplate it. All the gains and riches of this world terminate in a dying gasp, a funeral, and a descent into the grave. The house you have built will be given up to others.
Did you know that despite the modern notion of many people today that there is no hell, the Bible speaks of it over 113 times? Jesus himself, love incarnate, spoke more about hell than he did about heaven. Why? To warn people, and because of just how horrible it will be for those who go there. Hell will be unlimited in intensity. Imagine the pain of a third-degree burn victim. That pain is limited. The pain of hell will be unlimited. Hell will be unrestrained in the attack of men and demons. Here on earth, God restrains their attack on people. Otherwise, we'd all fall prey to the Charles Mansons and Jeffrey Dahmers of the world. In hell, there will be no such restraint. People will be under the unrestrained fury of other wicked men and demons for all of eternity. Hell will be uninterrupted in its misery. A human being who suffers on earth from a painful wound or sickness can sleep, or faint, or find temporary relief in medication. There will be no such reprieve in hell. Hell will be unending, forever. What depth of depression, rage, hopelessness, and sheer horror must the soul sink into, knowing that after 1 billion years they are no closer to relief. Hell will be utter darkness, no light, no love, ever again.
People inside of this burning place, screaming and crying. They were burning, but they weren't burning up. They weren't being consumed.
Who of us can dwell with the consuming fire? Who of us can dwell with everlasting burning? If your hand causes you to sin, cut it off. It is better for you to enter life maimed than with 2 hands to go into hell, where the fire never goes out.
I've got a clean copy of it now, and I warn you, this could scare you. Here's the email. Dear Art Bell, I just recently began listening to your radio show and could not believe it when you talked about the sounds from hell tonight. My uncle had told me this story a couple of years ago, and I didn't believe him. Like one of your listeners who discounted the story as nothing more than just a religious newspaper fabricated account. The story about the digging, the hearing of the sounds from hell is very real. It did occur in Siberia. My uncle collected videos and so forth on the paranormal, supernatural. He passed away fairly recently, but he would have loved your show. He let me listen to one of the audio tapes that he had on the sounds from hell in Siberia, and I copied it. He received his copy from a friend who worked at the BBC. It took me a while to find it tonight, but attached is that sound from my uncle's tapes. It's not the greatest quality, but the sounds are there. I was very hesitant to send you this, as the sound bothers me to listen to. I'd suggest that if you do play it on the program, warn listeners in advance so they may have the option of turning the radio off for 30 seconds while it plays. It has always haunted me. To those who discounted the Siberia sounds from hell story, it is true, and I, for one, wish it wasn't. Rick, listening from Chicago. And so I submit now the cleaned, a better copy to you, and I warn you, what you are about to hear is very disturbing indeed.
But if we lose our battle with temptation, we know what our agony will be. Forevermore, the stench of hell will fill our nostrils. You will scream for unconsciousness, but there is no unconsciousness in hell.
On the pains of hell. It is of faith that there is a hell. In the middle of this earth is this prison, reserved for the punishment of those who rebel against God. What is hell? It is a place of torments. A place of torments where all the senses and powers of the damned shall have their appropriate torment. And the more a person has offended God in any particular sense, so much more shall he be tormented in that sense. With what compassion should we hear that a poor man was enclosed in a dark pit for his whole life, or for 40 or 50 years? Hell is a pit enclosed on every side, where no ray of the sun or any other light ever enters. The